What's going on, everyone? Welcome to In the Loop with Loop One Records. It's your boy Matt, M-A-T-T with an E, aka Matt Live Vibe.
It's your boy Big with a K-I-D.
K-I-D, yo, how you been?
Been all right, you know.
Busy.
Busy, tired, you know.
No, I feel that, man. It's been a draining week, man. We got a lot going on in our personal lives and our business life, so energy's kind of all over the place. But you know, we keep it moving, we keep it rocking, man. Yo, real quick, shout out to all the UT players that got drafted in this year's NFL draft. Will, you were just telling me a little bit ago of a couple cats. I haven't been watching it much, but you've been monitoring it a bit.
Yeah, I've just been checking it really on Twitter. I follow some of these guys, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's always dope, man. You know, I don't really follow A&M or Rice or Baylor and anyone like that. So if any of them cats got drafted, man, congratulations to you too. That's a big moment. I was talking to my sister yesterday actually, and one of the guys got drafted and he got real emotional.
Yeah.
And we were talking a bit about it. We were like, yo, there used to be a time where like these guys would get drafted and like they just had this like very chip on their shoulder and very stale face, like, yeah, I knew I was gonna get drafted, I knew I was gonna do this, and they just like kind of took it as like a very entitled thing, entitlement, and now it's almost like a blessing to be drafted.
Yeah, because they did like a little behind the scenes. Dude, that shit is cutthroat. Like, it's evil. Yeah. Like what? Because like there was one guy that they did an interview on, and he was like, he's like, so and so promised me that my recruiter promised me they were gonna pick me at like this pick. Nothing. Ended up not even getting called at all. Yeah. He got called after as a free agent. Right. And I was like, wow.
But that's a big thing, yo, to go to the next level like that. So congratulations to everyone who's gotten drafted so far, and everyone else who's still waiting, man. Keep your head up, and hopefully you get to a place that you're destined to be. Yeah. But one thing that Will, you were trying to talk to me a little bit about these producers, man. You were telling me like they don't really get a lot of love, but not only that, but they probably make some really questionable business moves, yo. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I just some of these. I mean, most producers that I follow and friends, whatever. A lot of these guys just don't give credit when credit's due.
Like, in what way?
Well, I mean, it depends, because I mean, you have some of these guys that will go out and they'll support you and buy the lease, and you have guys that don't buy the lease and just use your tag to beat.
I feel that,
but I mean, it's just one of those. It's one of those things where producers do, like, they make beats and it takes hours and hours and hours. Can take hours to make just one solid beat.
If you're doing it right, it should take you a pretty long time. If you're just using templates and you're just using loops, you can knock easy stuff out.
Down 30 minutes or less.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I agree. There are a lot of respectable underground and not very known producers that people are using their beats free and they're paying leases and they're doing this and that. But I think they're just like kind of just riding the wave at this point. Like there's a lot of things they could implement legally to really crack down on all these cats that are kind of using their beats, for free.
Which, I mean, and if you're a small producer, the whole like legal stuff is just, it's too much to like really try to go after somebody that has like 100 views.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of just like, they kind of brush it off, because it's like you have to really monitor to see all these people that are using your beat that aren't making money, that aren't charting, on the Billboard charts. Yeah. They're not, making waves. They're not becoming super famous off of it. It's just a song to them. Now, the people that are making big numbers, those are the ones you got to really, get to quick, fast, and in a hurry, and legally too, to make sure you get your chips, yo. Because I think that's my problem with a lot of producers, is that they're leasing or they're selling these exclusives for, $100, maybe $1,000, right? Yeah. If they're really good, they'll sell them for high dollar amounts, but they're also selling themselves short if they don't come to an agreement on royalties, because this artist may have a big popping song and they're just racking it up while this producer walked away with $1,000 paycheck.
And that's it.
Who really won? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me, is like, yo, I'm not a producer. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not coming from a personal perspective, but the producers that I know, the producers and they're just like, I'll toss you an exclusive. Give me a $500. Give me $1,000, whatever. Yep. It's like, yo, you don't know the potential that this song has. Yeah. That you could be making millions and millions of dollars potentially, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you could literally say like, hey, give me a publishing license or a publishing royalties.
And it ain't got to be nothing crazy like, oh, give me 50%, give me 75%.
Yeah, no.
Nah, like, yo, 10%?
You made the song, dude. Like, you literally, like, that's the foundation is the beat.
Yeah.
The rest is for you to come in and do, you know, your lyrics on it.
Exactly.
And a lot of these guys that do buy the exclusives, they're getting the full track outs.
Right.
So what happens is where it can get completely shady is they can go in and start manipulating the whole entire beat and restructure it.
Oh yeah, and then it becomes an original beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can, and that's where, especially too, if they're handing off those track outs to another producer to like add their little bit on.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're seeing it now. You'll have a song title, and then it'll have it produced by producer A and producer B, and you'll have double credits on one song.
Yep.
But then sometimes those credits don't even exist.
Yeah.
Just because they paid you $1,000, they have no obligation to give you that credit.
Legally, depending on their, you know, agreement, if you hand over those exclusives and those track outs, dude, it's like literally your beat.
Yeah.
Unless you are smart enough to work in that.
It's a paper trail.
Yeah.
It's a paper trail because you're right. If they send that exclusive before anything's come to an agreement, it doesn't even have to be like a contract or anything like that. But as long as there's an email, a text, a DM, something that like connects you to this beat and what the you know terms are. If there's none of that and the producer sends an exclusive, which I hope producers are smarter than that.
Yeah.
But I would imagine this happens probably more than what we would imagine.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a producer I know. I'm gonna shout him out because like dude's always been a humble guy. My boy A-Dot.
Yeah.
Like the guy, he's been like me and him have talked for a while now, and there's been situations that he has been in, and it's just like wow, it's crazy. Like labels are willing to just completely fuck over a producer,
right?
And damn well knowing that this is his job. This is what they do. Like these are how these guys normally survive.
Okay, so. I'm a piggyback off that.
Yeah.
There's two perspectives, right? I just thought of this right now. Just like artists, right?
Yep.
It's quantity over quality in some cases. Now, producers could be the same thing, where they're okay with doing $30 leases, $40 leases because they know they can lease that same track to hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yep.
And you multiply those $30-$40 times hundreds and hundreds, it makes sense to them financially. Opposed to one exclusive buyout, you know, whether it's a flat paycheck, whether it's royalties, whatever, because nothing's promised. You don't know if this song's going to blow up. And just as there's so much potential that it could blow up, there's a lot of potential that's holding it back that it may not even go anywhere.
Well, I mean, there's even things too that are placements, and placements being that a label accepts your beat and basically places you with an artist that's popping.
Right.
But it still comes down to where I can be your manager, an A&R, whatever, a high executive, and be like, I'll change the beat a little bit.
Right.
We don't want to give this guy too much credit. We'll pay him $1,000 or $2,000 and he's like off, right? Which in my eyes, to me, that's one of those things where the music industry can get very shady, and especially when it comes to producers, because if we don't have producers, dude, me and you are definitely not making music.
No, for sure. And okay, so that's with the label involved. Now, from an independent producer perspective, just like independent artists, man, they're doing a lot of things by themselves, and they're willing to trade a lot of talent and a lot of time for pennies. Do you think that that's what a lot of independent producers are doing? They're willing to trade these micro leases for a couple, you know, quick paycheck, quick $40, $30, $50, whatever, but in hopes that it'll just, you know, push them forward, opposed to if someone like, I don't know, just some big artist, if they were to come to him and be like, yo, I want this beat, I want the exclusive, I don't want anyone else to have this, here's $3,000, you know, pretty substantial amount for a one-time payment, right?
Yeah.
But if that person is Lil Uzi Vert, if that person is Lil Wayne, if that person is Kevin Gates, and you know what the potential is of that artist, like, yo, he's had #1 hits, like, yo, he's had big songs. Why am I just gonna take this one paycheck and go home?
Yeah. No.
You feel me?
Yeah. Like, because if I was a producer and you know someone famous, whatever, got on my beat, I'd be like, okay, it's great, whatever, payment. That's cool, but like, can we work in some like producer credits and like royalties and this and that.
I guess that does come down to who's asking you, right? Who wants to do business with you? If it's an independent artist who you haven't really seen been doing moves or haven't been doing a lot to push their music and haven't really been hustling, you're not gonna debate about, oh, yo, give me some royalty percentages, because you know it's not gonna go anywhere.
No, and when I started doing rap, I mean, there's a site SoundClick that you'd go to.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I mean, the producers on there, most of them now are like, you know, on other sites, and they've all created platforms. But when it was SoundClick, dude, like these leases were cheap. Like, some guys were like $5, $10, $20,
right?
Just because we were all at that. I mean, start, that was their build up.
That was the point of the site, was
and
just like.
But that's going back to your saying, like, independent producers are like willing just to take whatever,
right?
For sure, because, you know, some of these guys really just live off, you know, people, rappers, whatever, buying beats off them.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, like, there's a guy I know who's like always on Facebook, like, yo, $25 today, PayPal me. You can get any lease.
Oh yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've Snapcashed $25 for a lease, and you know. And I think that's the thing, right? Where a lot of people, they want that quick cash, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's a lot of times where there's so much potential and there's such a big opportunity for these producers to really implement the possibilities of their songs, especially with the people that they've worked with.
Yeah.
Like A-Dot, right?
Yeah.
A-Dot's very respectable.
Oh,
I mean, he's done a lot of work. I've seen his work. I know
humble
who's
guy.
Real humble guy. And he's willing to work with anyone.
Yeah.
Now, that can, you know, potentially work against him because he is such a nice guy. He is such a humble guy that he may not really, you know, negotiate a pay term, or he may not negotiate a contract, you know.
There's been times when me and Ada have talked, and like he's had some sketchy ass like managers and people taking money from him, but that just goes to show you, like, he's not, like, A-Dot's not one of those producers like, oh man, like, yeah, cut me a check for 20 grand. Like, sure, it'd be nice. Right. But he's willing to take that risk and willing to just work with so-and-so artists. But, I mean, you learn as you go when you're a producer.
Definitely.
And, I mean,
you do that with anything, whether you're an artist, whether you're a producer, whether you're an engineer. The idea is to always get better and to always learn how to implement your business, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. We were talking about that earlier, about the knowledge that it takes to be... I take the perspective of an artist because I didn't go to college. Yeah. But I learned hip hop. I learned rap. I learned music growing up, listening to, you know, the idols that I had, kind of breaking down their songs, breaking down their lyrics, and understanding their cadence.
For sure.
You know, kind of that was my school. That was my college. That was my education of what hip hop was to me, and the culture, of course, too.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to a business, you have a perspective of you don't think someone needs a college degree to have a successful business.
No.
In any whatever the business is.
Yeah.
Which is potentially true.
Yeah.
It's right, because you don't need that as long as you have the experience, or as long as you have what I call the business bone.
Yeah.
But I think it does help where if someone doesn't understand how to obviously do accounting, they're gonna have a hard time trying to get their stuff together, get their ledgers together, balance their checkbooks, all this stuff, right? So they may have to go and take a class at a ACC, or they may need to go online and take a certification just to make sure they understand everything. But overall, I think when it comes to an art form, I don't think you can go to school. I can't go to school and learn how to write a song because I lose my artistic integrity.
Yeah, because I mean, you're just learning by a textbook.
Exactly.
So, like, what is textbook teaching gonna do? Like, there's people I know that go to, you know, all these big colleges and
Full Sail.
Yeah, I mean, because I wanted to go there. I thought that was cool. It's like,
there's nothing wrong, and we're not knocking that at all.
I mean, like,
if
dude,
you're going to Full Sail, that's fine.
Yeah, but like, these colleges do not promise you jobs. They have a percentage for sure that they go by, but I mean, dude, you could walk out of there with nothing.
You're right. And I think at the end of the day, it can teach you the fundamentals. It can teach you the basics. It can teach you how to get from point A to point B. Door. Yes.
I mean, that's the one thing that it does.
But you got to be artistic. You got to be creative. You got to find that fire in you to really be original and to really be yourself, because that's why a lot of people, they don't go to school to learn how to paint. They know how to paint.
Yeah.
But they learn how to turn that into a business.
Yeah.
And I think that's where my point comes in, is like, I can be a rapper, I can be an engineer, I can be a producer, I can be all this and that, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't know how to turn that into success, if I don't know how to turn that into money, if I don't know how to turn that into growth in a career, into something that I can live on, look at you, dude. You've turned your home studio, you've turned your videography, you've turned your photography, your graphic design into a business.
Yeah.
What good would that be if you knew how to do all that?
Yeah.
But you didn't know how to make that into a cash return.
Yeah.
And not saying that money is, the most important thing, but you got to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
Bills got to get paid.
Yeah.
And, if you're an artist who wants to really do music full time, and you're hustling, you're bustling, you're doing everything you can, you're pumping out these songs, you're doing all this work in the studio, but you don't know how to turn that into a profit, and you don't know how to turn that into cash in your wallet, that's where you're slowing yourself down to where you may or may not need to go either to college or look online, do some research to learn, okay, how do I run this business? Yeah. How do I turn myself into a brand? How do I turn myself into something that can...
Sure, I mean, I think, too, when you're trying to start a business, it's a mindset that you have to really, you have to be that guy that just really, that is driven to not work that 9 to 5. Right. And put those, really, truly sleepless nights, 24 hours up, studying, figuring stuff out on your own, but also failing at stuff too.
Definitely.
Because it happens.
It does.
No one's run a successful business without it failing and restructuring multiple times, dude.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, no one has ran a business without slipping on their ass and busting their mouth.
Yeah.
And you have to do that. And even if you don't run a business, that's life.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
But okay, so on the other side of that, though, you can go to college, you can learn this and that, you can learn how to do accounting, you can learn how to, analyze a business model, you can learn all this. Yeah. But if you don't have any type of skill outside of that, you're only good with, either partnering with someone, or you have to go find that talent yourself, or it's just a lot of, yin and yang.
Yeah.
You got to have a balance. You feel me?
Because, I mean, there's people that I know that, they all want to start businesses and whatever, but they don't have that drive, and you have to have that drive, and you gotta have money. I mean, that's the sad part too. It's
got to, or if you don't have money, you gotta learn how to gain that money. Yeah, you know what I mean. But the point I was getting to was, I don't believe,
college doesn't make you credible. I mean, you're
it's
credible.
Validation.
Yeah, it's validation, but just because you and I haven't gone to college
doesn't mean we're failures.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we can't start a business. Yeah. It doesn't mean we can't be successful. It doesn't mean that we can't own a home studio or we can't go take, professional pictures or do music videos. It doesn't mean we're not credible for what we do, because we have the experience, we have the drive, and we have the eye, we have the mindset, we have that passion for it.
And I mean, dude, you can learn way more online and just reading and studying without going the whole college route.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
You're listening to an instructor that's just going by a textbook or, previous job experiences this professor's had or have had, because most professors have done music and whatever, depending what it is.
Right.
They've been in the field. So, I mean, they teach you just a narrow, what they want you to know, what will help you. But it doesn't fully mean, hey, I graduated as a music producer, I got a degree in music, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Now, here's my thing. I don't think you can give a grade on, like I said, that artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Being original, obviously, to build a beat, you need your essentials. You need your downbeat, your downbeat. You need your snares. You need all these things, the bones of the beat, right?
Yeah.
But if you add in all this other stuff, that doesn't mean you're wrong. You're doing it different. You're being yourself. You're doing the things that you feel like doing, just like writing a song. I know plenty of people. Saint JPM, yo.
Yeah.
Shout out you. We went to the Art Institute with him, and he was telling us a little bit about his journey and that he's graduating this year.
Yes, sir.
And I have a lot of respect for that, because he, not only did he go to school, but he's got that artistic integrity. He's original from what he raps to what he writes to what he engineers to how he runs the studio. He learned the basics in school, but he still knows how to be creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I think that's essential. If you just go straight out of the book and you apply that,
yeah,
and that's it,
yeah,
I just feel like you're cutting yourself short. Like you're limiting your imagination, and that's what art is about. Whether it's painting, whether it's sculpting, whether it's music, whether it's anything, inventing, you got to think outside the box. And if you're living out of a textbook, yo, you might as well quit now. Like you're not. That's not art. You can't grade that.
I mean, and you can't. If I followed all the stuff that I've learned by reading and whatnot, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No,
I'd be focused.
But it helps, right?
Yeah, it helps. I mean, it's guidance for sure.
Yeah.
Don't
You've
get
had
me
mentors
wrong.
that told you to take notes, and this is the right way to do things.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm not doing it a wrong way. I'm doing it a different way. I'm using what you've taught me to build my foundation, but then I'm going forward.
And that's one of my mentors always told me. He'd be like, look, with a house, how does a house start? With the foundation. You have to build that up, but brick by brick.
Yes.
And don't just think overnight like, yo, I'm about to just shoot to the top.
Right.
Because you're not.
You don't want a cookie cutter home.
No.
You want a personal home that fits your needs, that fits your expertise, that fits your experience, that fits what you can bring the results out. Yeah. That's what makes that house special.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's our perspective of college. There's no right or wrong. It's okay if you go to college, if you want to get that extra, validation, if you want to get that extra knowledge.
Yeah. When I feel like if you go to college, do not look down on other people.
No.
That have not gone to college.
No, and that's where a lot of people do, because there's plenty of artists that I know and a lot of producers that they didn't go to college.
No.
But they have so much more success than the people that did. Yeah. And the people that did are like, oh, well, you didn't go to college, yo. You're not a real producer. You're not a real engineer. You're not a real business owner because you don't have a degree that says you studied this or that at this college or this university. Yo.
Dude, even though guys that have dropped out of high school and are way more, they're successful. Like these guys, like there's one guy in particular I know, and he's made businesses and he's keeping going. Like he's up there now. I mean,
there was this kid I say a kid, he's a couple years younger than me, but he's real green, right? And I met him at one of the local businesses, right? And we were talking a bit, and he was asking what I did, and so I told him, and he was kind of asking like, yo, are a lot of jobs, are they just looking for people that have degrees? Because he went to Texas State, but then he dropped out. Yeah. And I told him, yo, there's nothing wrong with that, because I told him what I'm doing, and I told him what I've been working on. I told him the jobs I've had, and he was like, how old are you? I was like, yo, I'm going to be 25. It's like, you're barely older than me. How'd you get all this experience? I was like, yo, I worked.
Yeah, it's just networking, dude.
I went into it. I dug into it. I learned from people that were around me. I learned from mentors. I learned from people that have done this for a lot longer than I have. Yep. And then I applied it to my day to day. That's how I was able to start a business.
It's all about networking and getting your foot in the door.
And that's one thing I've always believed in. My sister, shout out you. I love you so much, because she taught me that it's not always what you know.
Yeah, it's who you know.
It's who you know. Yeah. And it's not what you got. Like we said in the last episode, not what you got. It's how you use it with the equipment and with your knowledge and with your expertise. It's how you use it. It's where you go from there. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I've done internships and I haven't landed the job, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you get the job or not. It matters if you've gained experience, you've learned what you've learned from professional people, and you just go with it. Yeah. You take those notes that you did take, however you took notes, and you go back home and say, okay, did I really want to do this or did I not? Yeah. Because there's been times where I wanted to do live, like, camera sporting stuff. And when I landed a position, I realized, yo, this isn't for me.
Yeah. Well, look at me, right? I've never hosted anything. I never liked being on camera. I never did any of that. And what did I do? I ended up going to a local station and became the host of a TV show. Yep. That was live on public access. That's something I get to use towards whatever I want to grow towards, because I got comfortable with myself being not a character, but being a persona, being that someone is that's eye-catching, someone that people can relate to, someone that can hear their voice and see them on camera and be like, yo, I'm entertained, or I'm watching this. I didn't think I could ever do that. But it wasn't until I tried and I got that expertise and I networked with the right people and I talked to the right people and I used that to benefit myself. Now I get to use that to my business.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to take that step to actually, say, hey, I did it. I tried. Yeah. Don't ever, like, a lot of people always just go with their gut feeling like, nah, I don't want to do this. But dude, you got to take that risk.
You got to. Scared money don't make money, yo.
No, yeah.
Scared money don't make money.
Really doesn't.
It doesn't. But like I said, shout out to you if you're in the education system and you're you're in college trying to perfect your skill. No diss to you at all.
Keep going.
Keep hustling. Keep doing it. Keep learning, because I'm not very studious. You're doing already better than I am. But it's like you said, you can't get a degree and look down at the people that don't have one. No. And if you don't have a degree, you can't make it seem like you're doing a lot more, like college is nothing.
Yeah.
There's a blend. It's a balance of experience and knowledge. Whether you went to college or whether you researched it on YouTube, doesn't matter.
No.
You got to learn.
I hold 3 certifications, but
you're not waving them around.
I'm not waving them. No.
You're not. You ain't got them framed on the wall. You know, you don't need that validation. No, you just now know what to do, and you know, someone like you who's done it all.
Yeah,
I don't need to ask your credentials. I don't need you to show me your certifications. You're gonna tell me what you can do, and I'm gonna take your word for it.
Yeah, you just show your work at the end.
Exactly. That's it. Your work speaks for yourself.
Yeah.
So shout out everyone in the education system and out the education system, yo. Keep hustling, keep your head up, keep working. That's all it's about, yo.
Because it can be done either way.
It can be done either way, as long as you got the drive and the passion, yo. And that's what it comes down to, is passion. Focused. That's why we started this business. Yeah. Because we had a passion for something. We had a passion for music. That's why I started rapping. Yeah. That's why I started music. Because I had a passion for something that I grew up with that I didn't even think I could do myself. I wasn't good at sports, dude. I couldn't play an instrument. I couldn't do any of that. But you know what? I knew this was something that I enjoyed listening to. I enjoyed studying. I enjoyed breaking down. I was like, you know what? I could do that.
Yeah.
And I did. Yeah. I'm not the greatest. I'm not gonna hype myself up here. No. But I'm a lot better than I used to be.
I mean, we all learn, dude. Like, exactly. It doesn't. You go to college, you do what you got to do. I mean, but even when you're out of college, dude, you're still learning. I'm still learning. Oh yeah. I mean, every day I learn something new.
Definitely.
And that's how it is.
And I tell you that every day. Yeah. It's all about improvement. It's all about progress. It's all about moving forward. As long as you're moving forward, you had a great day.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
So, little tangent here. I was listening to some old mixtapes.
Yes.
Why do you think DJs don't host mixtapes anymore?
I think that whole trend just kind of died, dude. Like, everybody was doing it, and then it was just like everybody wanted to be a mixtape host DJ.
Okay. Is there a right way to host a mixtape, and is there a wrong way?
I don't know, dude. I mean, everybody kind of got that whole idea of, like, you know, you got Drama that did it, and, you know, all those DJ Will people the GOAT, yeah. And, dude, I mean, there's all these people that were just like, yo, I want to do that. And I mean, when I found out about DJ Will, he was like, he hosted like some kid's like mixtape, and this kid was kind of like a Mike Stud, like whatever. And it was very simple though. I mean, DJ Will didn't like go crazy with the tags, but I feel like people that did the whole mixtape hosting and like they got DJs on board with it was really just to like kind of gain off their clout.
I agree.
And to try to just get, hey, like, yo, my mixtape's endorsed by so and so, damn well knowing that they probably paid for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, let's be real.
But even then, okay, so one of the mixtapes I was listening to was, Dedication 3. I was just listening to that today because I was like, you know what, I haven't heard this in a while. I'm going to listen to it. And I was breaking down the flow of this tape, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't people do this anymore? Because it was brilliant in my mind, right? Where it's recordings. First of all, doing tapes of remixes of top songs needs to be a thing again.
Yeah,
it needs to be a thing again because that's just a showcase of your skills.
I don't know exactly when that shifted, but like it was just like everybody just started like shifting and like really just started going back to like original music making. And
now, do you think it's because all these outlets such as CD Baby, TuneCore, DistroKid, etc., do you think it's because it's gotten so much easier to put yourself on major platforms that mixtapes are yesterday's
like,
news?
It's like whatever. Because you can easily just create an EP now and throw it up on iTunes and Spotify.
I feel like it's so much easier to make a mixtape. Like, you could just upload it to the website, yo.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do nothing. No type of credit card payments, no type of upload, because that's what a lot of these companies are doing. Yeah. They're charging per upload, per single, per album, per EP. Everything that you do, it's anywhere between $7, $10, $20, whatever.
You got to ask yourself, too, like, yo, is like, I mean, dude, you put it up, are people actually going to buy it? with a mixtape, at least I'm able to like kind of get my name out there and build up for an album or EP, because that's how I learned.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I mean, when I learned, I mean, it was really like that mixtape like era was still a thing.
Right. And I think too, a lot of it was because mixtapes were something you handed out, or that you sold, hard copies of out of the trunk of your car.
It's what you showed people.
It's
too.
what
like,
you showed.
Hey, man, like this is what I got going.
Exactly. And I feel like because the physical copies of music is now dead completely. Yeah. Dude, you know how dope it was to walk into Target or to FYE at the mall?
Yeah.
And you saw a big old display of the brand new album.
Yeah.
Of whoever the hell it was.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, I got this. Or it was sold out, and you saw a big old sign that said, hey, we don't have any more available. You got to go to the next store. That was a big thing. But now it's nothing but streams, which is fine. Because if you match it, you get 1 million streams. It matches more than people buying it, blah, 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 blah. But I just don't agree that, because these companies, they don't give you 100% of your royalties.
No.
I think you were telling me TuneCore does 92%.
Yeah, it depends like on your payment, but like it can be anywhere from like 92 to even less, from like down to 88%.
But now that goes back to what we were saying about the producers. Do you feel like these artists are willing to take 88% over zero?
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends how much you're selling.
I mean, yeah, everyone's different, but you're right. I mean, those are pennies potentially, right? Where, you make $100. Oh, well, you could have made 110, but the percentages broke differently.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain about $10 if I made 100.
Nah, dude.
Or if it's $1,000 and I missed out on 10 grand.
Yeah.
I'd be a little upset.
Yeah.
But you feel what I'm saying, though. I think a lot of people are like, yo, I don't care. I just paid $10 to get this uploaded.
Whatever.
Okay, yeah. Kanye shrug, yo.
I think nowadays, though, it's more of a flex. Like, yo, I got this on iTunes or whatever. Because it's so open now.
But it's lost its value.
Yeah, it does.
To me, it does. To where if someone says it's on iTunes, okay, it's not that big of a deal, because anyone can get it on iTunes. Which, again, no diss.
No diss,
but anyone can get their stuff on iTunes. Anyone can get. Now, if you tell me, my song's on this playlist on Spotify, I'm gonna be a little more impressed, because playlist placements are a lot harder than people think.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. I mean, you can send emails for days and days and days.
But money talks.
Oh, yeah.
Money talks. You pay a big chunk of change. You'll get yourself on that prestigious playlist, and now you're racking in this, you're racking in some royalties. Mm. But now you got the clout that goes with it, because you can be like, oh, yeah, I'm on Rap Caviar, or I'm on whatever playlist on Spotify.
Yeah.
And it's a flex. You're absolutely right. It's a flex. And just like, you paid however much to open up for, or to rap with some big, star on the same stage. Yeah. It's a flex. It's an investment, but it's a flex.
Yep.
But
for sure.
No, I think mixtapes need to be a thing again. That's something I've always believed in. I've had discussions on Facebook with many people that mixtapes need to be a thing again. It's so much easier to get them on there. It's so easy to promote. It's so easy to, just kind of have that catalog on these websites. And just showcasing your work, showcasing your bars. Oh, if you make, remixes off top songs, go 44 bars. Like, no, forget the hook. Just rap. Spit your bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do what you got to do. I mean, bring it back like the old days, man. Like, that's how it was.
That's what I love. That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, this needs to be a thing again.
Yeah.
Because there's so many artists that I know that have the skills, and they could put out these original tracks or whatever. But I'm like, yo, if you put out a remix mixtape, or if you just put out a mixtape and you just started promoting the hell out of that, that's gonna blow up a lot more than your iTunes is.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But now mixtapes need to be a thing again. So #mixtapes, make mixtapes great again.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Yeah.
Bring it back, yo. On that note, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to In the Loop with Loop One Records. Big Will, where can they find you at?
At Big Will the Kid, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud. It's all Big Will the Kid, so you can find me.
Hell yeah, and you can find me at MattelifeVibe on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Snapchat. Don't forget to visit looponerecords.com for more updates, more events, more music, all the good stuff. Also now available on Apple Podcasts and Google Play. Please like, subscribe, share, give us 5-star ratings, yo. We appreciate all of our supporters to the death. Thank you very much. We're gonna keep it rolling. Till next time, peace.